Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and demystify how you can turn a totally frustrating local search landscape into a highly practical playbook that actually makes your phone ring. Look, if you run a service business, you already know that having the best technicians or the biggest fleet doesn't automatically mean you're going to win online. So today, we're reverse engineering exactly what's working for the guys at the absolute top of the map so you can steal back your digital territory.
Here is how we're going to break it down today. First, we'll cover winning the local search game. Then we'll find your real competitors, followed by spotting business profile gaps. From there, we'll look at websites that turn into calls, look beyond Google Maps, and wrap it all up with a solid 90-day action plan. Let's get right into it.
I want you to think about this question for a second. You know that feeling? It is incredibly frustrating when you lose a lead to an inferior business just because they popped up at the very top of local search results when someone desperately needed an emergency plumber at 2 a.m. You've got the decades of experience, you've got the real-world reputation, but they're the ones getting those frantic phone calls. Why? Simply because they've absolutely mastered their digital first impression. The real game changer here is realizing that your real-world business rivals aren't always the exact same people dominating you on Google Maps. You might be a really established electrician, used to fighting massive firms for big local bids, but on a smartphone, you're losing out to a much smaller local company simply because they have stronger, more recent reviews and a tighter online profile.
So that brings us to Section 1, winning the local search game and bridging the visibility gap. The crucial point to remember here is that a practical local SEO competitor analysis is really just a systematic process. We're just figuring out exactly why customers are choosing those other guys.
The absolute beauty of this approach is its transparency. We aren't going to build fake profiles or resort to any of those sketchy, spammy tactics. Honestly, nobody likes that anyway. Instead, we're going to start with exactly what the customer sees when they need help and build a highly focused plan from there.
Moving right along to Section 2, find your real competitors, because like we said, it's probably not who you think. We need to find out who your direct search competitors actually are for your highest value service areas. To actually find them, you need to sit down and brainstorm 5 to 10 high-value searches a panicking customer would make right before calling. If you run an HVAC company, you aren't just looking up HVAC, no, you're looking for specific, high-intent searches like ductless mini-split installer or furnace repair in Tom's River. You want to target the specific work you actually want to get calls for.
Okay, here's a really crucial tip. To see what your customers see, you have to change how you search. Pull out your mobile phone. And be sure to turn off personalized results, so Google isn't just showing you what you want to see. And crucially, literally the most important part, you must search from inside the actual service area. Google's map results change drastically based on proximity. A search result in Lakewood is going to look very different from one in Brick or Freehold. And hey, you absolutely do not need some crazy expensive software to track who shows up in that local 3-pack. As simple as it sounds, a basic spreadsheet is completely fine to map out this digital battlefield. Just track their primary category, their reviews, and their visible service areas in a simple grid. That's all you need to get started.
Which brings us to Section 3, spotting business profile gaps, which is essentially your digital front door. Now that we know who we're looking for, let's audit their Google business profile. This profile acts as the very first impression a service business makes, often way before a customer ever clicks through to a website.
When you open the profiles of top performers, you really have to look past the perfect star rating. Notice the difference here. A company with 4.7 stars and 400 recent, detailed reviews builds significantly more trust than a pristine 5.0 rating built on, just a dozen outdated reviews from 3 years ago. Recency and volume are what actually create digital word of mouth.
This right here is your golden checklist. Use it to identify the gaps customers notice instantly. Look at their primary categories. Are they totally accurate? Do their photos show real staff and real completed jobs, or just cheesy stock images? Pay close attention to what people praise in their reviews, like super fast arrival times or tidy work, and also what they complain about. You can use those exact insights to upgrade your own customer experience and gain a massive advantage.
All right, let's hit Section 4, websites that turn into calls. This is the closer. Map visibility is fantastic for getting attention, but your website has to do the heavy lifting to turn that click into an actual service call. Put yourself in the shoes of someone standing in a puddle from a leaking water heater or sweating with a broken AC unit. I promise you, they don't care about a perfect paid speed score. They just need a mobile site that feels fast and immediately shows a big, obvious click-to-call button. They need real local details, not 30 identical template pages where only the city name is swapped out. Search engines and customers spot that thin content a mile away.
Now, to clearly communicate all these rich local details with Google, you need a translator. That's what schema markup is. Without it, search engines are just kind of left guessing what your content means or where you actually operate. By implementing local business schema, you explicitly confirm your legitimate physical location and even your aggregate star ratings, which makes it much easier to pull clicks away from your competitors.
Moving into Section 5, looking beyond Google Maps to the surrounding neighborhood. It's so important to remember that your local search visibility extends far, far beyond just the Google ecosystem. One of the simplest but literally make or break things you can do is maintain your NAP accuracy: name, address, and phone number. Prioritizing perfectly accurate local citations totally prevents customer confusion. Think about it. If someone finds a different phone number on Apple Maps versus your actual website, they're not going to play detective. They're just going to call the next guy on the list.
And don't forget to analyze your competitors' backlink profiles. You can uncover absolute gold mines for community link building there. On social media, look, you don't need to post every single day like an influencer, but a consistent record of real before and after work goes a long way. Also, notice how competitors handle calls after hours. If you use AI or a voice receptionist to book callbacks, that's smart. Just never ever let AI promise an arrival time or a price that your team can't actually honor. Finally, Section 6, the 90-day action plan. This is the payoff. It's time to consolidate all of these insights into our final playbook. Because a local competitive analysis is utterly useless if it just sits in a spreadsheet gathering digital dust. Here's how you build real momentum over the next 90 days. Please, whatever you do, don't try to boil the ocean and rebuild everything at once. Start in month 1 with raw accuracy, matching your name, phone number, and hours perfectly. In month 2, polish up just 2 or 3 of your most vital, profitable service pages. Then by month 3, you can streamline the machine by fixing mobile friction and setting up a simple review request process for completed jobs. Throughout this entire 90-day process, your goal isn't just to rank number 1 for the sake of your ego. Stop chasing vanity metrics. You need to prioritize measuring the actual qualified leads, form submissions, and booked appointments that keep your service trucks on the road. Vanity metrics just don't pay the bills. And because search behavior and local results constantly shift around, you really can't just set this and forget it. You should run this quick analysis every single month. A one-position drop isn't a crisis, sure, but a steady decline in calls means someone just outsmarted your strategy and you need to adapt immediately. Ultimately, AI and shiny software tools can organize your notes all day long, but they absolutely cannot replace genuinely helpful customer care. So, looking at your digital front door right now, what is the single biggest gap your competitors are ignoring that you can fix today to win your neighborhood back?